Tom was a single father who always worked hard to give his daughter, Mia, a good life. Every morning he woke up early, prepared breakfast, and got her ready for school before heading to his job at the small construction company. Life was simple, but Tom wanted something more. He wanted a safe home for Mia, a place where they could have their own space and make happy memories. One afternoon, while scrolling through property listings online, something unusual caught his attention. A large villa, abandoned for decades, was listed for a price far lower than any other house in the city. The pictures were strange. Windows were shattered, paint had peeled off the walls, and the garden was wild with tall grass and weeds. The villa looked scary, almost like no one had lived there for a long time. "Tom, that place looks scary," Mia said, leaning closer to see the photo on the screen. Her small fingers brushed the keyboard as if she wanted to touch the house through the screen. "I know, Mia, but think about it," Tom said. "It is huge. We can fix it. It will be ours, all ours. No more renting apartments, no noisy neighbors. Just you and me in our own home." Mia tilted her head. "Are you sure there is no ghost?" Tom chuckled. "There are no ghosts, Mia. Just old houses waiting for someone to care for them." Despite the warnings in the local papers about the villa being abandoned, Tom could not resist. He called the agent immediately and scheduled a visit for the coming weekend. As the days passed, Mia could not stop asking questions about the house. Will it be like a castle? Will we have secret rooms? Tom smiled at her excitement, feeling a mix of hope and nervousness. Finally, Saturday arrived. Tom drove the old van with Mia beside him, gripping the seat tightly. The villa was far from the city, surrounded by dense trees. As they turned the last corner, the house appeared. Its tall walls were cracked, the roof had missing tiles, and the gate was rusted. The garden was overgrown with weeds taller than Mia's knees. A sense of mystery hung in the air. "It is even bigger than the pictures," Tom said, stepping out of the van. Mia held his hand tightly. "It looks like a haunted castle," she whispered. Tom smiled and lifted her small chin. "It looks old, yes, but we will make it beautiful again. Imagine planting flowers, cleaning the rooms, and having a garden party." They pushed open the heavy rusted gate, and a loud creak echoed in the silence. Every step they took on the broken stone path made a noise that sounded like the house was waking up after a long sleep. Inside, the villa was dark and smelled of dust and damp wood. Sunlight came through broken windows in long streaks, illuminating floating dust particles. Old furniture covered with white sheets stood in every room. Chandeliers hung precariously from the ceiling, and the floors creaked as if warning them to move carefully. Despite the eerie atmosphere, Tom felt something thrilling. There was history here, stories waiting to be discovered, and maybe treasures hidden over the years. He looked at Mia. Her eyes were wide, full of curiosity, not fear. As Tom explored the ground floor, he discovered a locked wooden door hidden in a dark corner of the living room. The door looked older than the rest of the villa. Its edges were carved with strange patterns, and it had a heavy, rusty lock. "What is behind this door?" Tom whispered to himself, running his hand over the cold wood. Mia stepped closer. "Do you think it is a secret room?" Tom nodded. "Maybe it is. Maybe someone left something special here a long time ago." He tried the lock, but it would not move. He glanced around the villa, imagining what treasures or secrets could be hidden inside. Could it be gold, old letters, or something even more surprising? For the first time in a long time, Tom felt excitement that was different from his daily routine. This villa was more than just an abandoned house. It was a place with possibilities, a new beginning for him and Mia. Little did they know, the villa had more than just stories to tell. It had secrets that could change their lives forever. Tom took a deep breath and said, "Mia, our adventure is just beginning. We will fix this house, and maybe we will discover something incredible together." Mia smiled, her imagination running wild. The villa no longer seemed scary. To her, it was a palace filled with mysteries waiting to be solved. The next morning, Tom woke up early, his mind still buzzing with thoughts about the villa. He made breakfast for Mia, who could not stop talking about the strange door they had discovered. "Do you think someone left treasure inside?" Mia asked, her eyes wide with excitement. "Treasure? Maybe," Tom said with a smile. "But I think it could also be something old, like books or furniture. Still, we will find out soon." After breakfast, they returned to the villa. The sun shone brightly, casting long shadows across the garden. The overgrown grass swayed gently in the morning breeze, and birds chirped from the trees surrounding the property. The villa no longer seemed entirely scary. The sunlight gave it a soft golden glow. Tom brought tools and cleaning supplies. He decided to explore the villa room by room, looking for anything interesting or valuable. Mia carried a small backpack with water and snacks. As they entered the villa, a chill ran down Tom's spine. The air inside was thick with dust, and the silence made every small sound echo. They started in the kitchen. Cabinets were broken, and old dishes lay scattered across the floor. Tom cleaned a little, feeling hopeful that the place could soon feel like home. Mia discovered a small box tucked under the sink. She opened it carefully. Inside were old coins, faded letters, and a few photographs of people smiling in front of the villa. "Look, Dad. People used to live here," Mia said, showing him the photographs. "Yes, Mia. This villa has a history. Maybe someone left these items long ago," Tom said, placing the box gently on the counter. They moved to the living room next. Dust covered every surface, and the old furniture looked heavy and fragile. Tom noticed the locked wooden door again. It seemed more mysterious than ever. He tried shaking it slightly. Nothing, the lock held fast. "I wonder what is behind this door," Mia whispered. "Maybe a secret treasure room." Tom smiled, though he was careful not to raise her hopes too high. "Let's see if we can find a key." Old houses sometimes hide keys in strange places. They searched the villa carefully. Tom checked drawers, cupboards, and shelves while Mia examined behind old paintings and under furniture. Hours passed. Just when Tom began to feel discouraged, Mia shouted, "Dad! I found something!" She held a small rusty key in her hand. It was hidden in a folded cloth inside an old cabinet in the hallway. Tom's heart raced as he took the key and examined it. It looked like it could fit the wooden door. "Are you ready?" he asked, smiling at Mia. "Yes," she said, holding his hand tightly. Tom inserted the key into the lock. It fit perfectly. With a slow turn, the lock clicked open. The door creaked as it swung inward. A cold breeze escaped and dust floated in the sunlight. Inside, the room was dark, filled with shadows. But as their eyes adjusted, they saw rows of shelves along the walls, stacked with old chests, boxes, and jars. Some were dusty, some looked very old, and some even had strange markings. Tom's mind raced. Could this be a hidden storage room? A place forgotten by time? Mia stepped forward, her small hand brushing over a chest covered in dust. "Dad, look at this one," she said. She pointed to a large wooden chest with a metal lock. Tom opened it carefully. Inside were gold coins, jewelry, and stacks of old folded papers. The coins shone faintly in the dim light, and the jewelry sparkled as if it had been waiting for someone to find it. Tom could hardly believe his eyes. This is incredible," he whispered. He realized that the villa might hold a treasure of great value. "Mia, do you see this? We found something amazing." Mia's eyes sparkled. "We found treasure, Dad." "Real treasure." They spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the secret room. Each chest and box seemed to hold more surprises: antique watches, silver plates, and old coins from different countries. Tom carefully examined the papers. Some looked like old letters, but others seemed to be notes about hidden wealth. As the sun began to set, the villa no longer felt empty or scary. It was alive with secrets, and for Tom and Mia, it had become a place of wonder. Tom locked the secret room carefully. "We need to be careful, Mia. This treasure is special, and we need to think about what to do next." Mia nodded. "Can we come back tomorrow and explore more?" Tom smiled. "Of course, Mia. Our adventure is only beginning." Little did they know, the treasure they had discovered was just the beginning of a story that would change their lives forever. The next morning, Tom woke up with excitement in his heart. The villa no longer seemed like an abandoned, scary place. It had become a home full of secrets and surprises. Mia bounced into the kitchen, her small face glowing with excitement. "Dad, can we go back to the secret room today? I want to see what else is hidden," she asked as she ate her breakfast. Tom smiled at her energy. "Yes, Mia, but we must be careful. This treasure is very important, and we need to understand it before we show anyone." After breakfast, they returned to the villa. The morning sun made the tall walls glow, and the overgrown garden now looked magical. Birds flew from tree to tree, and the air was fresh with the scent of flowers and damp earth. For Tom and Mia, it felt like a new beginning. Inside, Tom unlocked the secret room again. Dust floated in the sunlight, and the golden coins and jewelry sparkled faintly as if welcoming them back. Mia ran from chest to chest, her eyes wide with wonder. "Look, Dad, this one has coins from another country," she exclaimed, holding up a small golden coin with strange letters. Tom examined it carefully. "Yes, Mia, these coins are very old and rare. Whoever left them here must have been very wealthy." He picked up a stack of papers tied with a ribbon. The letters were old, written in careful handwriting. Some mentioned family histories and others seemed like maps or instructions. As they explored, Tom realized the villa had been more than just a home. It had been a place for someone important who hid treasures for safekeeping. The thought amazed him. Mia found a small chest covered with dust. Inside were delicate necklaces, rings, and bracelets, all sparkling despite their age. "Dad, this is amazing. We can make the villa beautiful with these." Tom laughed softly. "Not yet, Mia. We must understand where it came from first. These things are very valuable." Hours passed as they carefully sorted through the treasures. Tom made notes, wrote down details, and tried to figure out how to protect the items. Mia helped by organizing the smaller coins and jewelry. Together they worked like a team, feeling proud and excited. Suddenly, Tom noticed a small hidden compartment in the floor under one of the shelves. He knelt down and pressed a loose tile. The tile moved slightly, revealing a narrow space. Inside was an old locked box, smaller than the chest but heavier. "This must be very important," Tom said. His hands trembled slightly as he tried to open it. Mia watched closely, curiosity shining in her eyes. They couldn't open the box immediately. The lock was old but sturdy. Tom knew it might hold the most valuable items in the villa. He decided they would need special tools tomorrow to open it carefully. Mia, though eager, understood. "Maybe it has gold or important papers or a map," she said, her voice full of excitement. Tom nodded. "Yes, Mia. Maybe it will tell us more about the person who left all this treasure here." By evening, the villa had become a lively place for Tom and Mia. They cleaned some areas, organized their findings, and even set up a small corner in the living room where they could rest and admire the treasure. For the first time, Tom felt like this villa could truly become their home. However, Tom also knew they had to be careful. The treasure was not just valuable. It could attract attention from people who might want it for themselves. He planned to keep it hidden and safe until they could figure out its true worth. As they left the villa for the day, Mia looked back at the tall walls. "Dad, I think this house likes us," she said softly. Tom smiled. "Yes, Mia, I think it does. And I believe it will protect us as we discover its secrets." Little did they know the treasure was only the beginning. The villa held many mysteries, and some of them were far bigger than they could imagine. Each discovery would bring new excitement, challenges, and surprises that would change their lives forever. Tom held Mia's hand tightly as they walked back to their van. They were ready for the adventure ahead, and neither of them could wait to see what the villa would reveal next. The next morning, Tom and Mia returned to the villa with renewed energy. The secret room had been on their minds all night, especially the small locked box hidden under the floor. Tom carried a small toolkit, hoping it would help him open it safely. Mia bounced with excitement, holding a flashlight in her hand. "Are you ready, Dad?" she asked eagerly. Tom smiled. "Yes, Mia, let's see what secrets this box holds." The secret room felt different that morning. Sunlight poured through the broken windows, creating patterns of light on the dusty floor. The treasure sparkled faintly, almost as if it was welcoming them back. Tom knelt carefully and placed the box in front of him. He examined the lock closely, then began working with his tools. Mia watched closely, her small face serious. She understood this was an important moment. The lock clicked finally, and with a careful push, the lid opened. Inside was a stack of papers tied with a red ribbon and a small, ancient-looking key. Tom picked up the papers first. "These look like letters or notes," he said, unfolding one carefully. The handwriting was elegant and neat, though faded with time. As he read, he realized the papers contained information about the villa's history. The letters spoke of a wealthy family who had lived here many years ago. They had hidden their treasures to keep them safe during difficult times. Mia looked at the small key. "Do you think this opens another door, Dad?" Tom nodded. "Most likely, Mia. It could be another secret room or a hidden chest. Whoever left this wanted to make sure only someone who found the letters could open it." Excited, they searched the villa for a door that matched the key. After exploring the upper floor, Tom noticed a small, barely visible door at the end of a dark hallway. The wood was old and the paint had faded, but it had a lock that looked like it could fit the key. "This must be it," Tom whispered. Mia held his hand tightly as he inserted the key. It fit perfectly. With a soft click, the door opened. Inside was a small room, no bigger than a study, filled with shelves and boxes. But this room was different from the secret room downstairs. Here the treasures seemed more personal. Old diaries, journals, and boxes of letters were carefully stacked. "Dad, look at all these papers," Mia said, her eyes wide. "Do you think they tell a story?" Tom nodded, gently picking up a diary. "Yes, Mia. These must belong to the family who hid the treasure. Maybe they wrote about their life, their plans, and why they hid all of this." They spent hours exploring the small room. Each diary told a new story. Some spoke of the family's travels. Others described festivals, friends, and challenges. The papers revealed that the villa had been home to people who loved adventure and had to hide their treasures carefully. As they read, Tom realized the importance of their discovery. This treasure was not just valuable in money, it was valuable in history. Each item told a story about the people who had lived here, their life, and their dreams. Mia, curious as ever, opened a small box of jewelry. "Dad, some of these necklaces are beautiful," she said. "Yes, Mia, and each piece has a story. That is why we must be careful. We cannot lose or damage anything," Tom replied, carefully placing the jewelry back. Suddenly, they heard a sound outside the villa. A rustling noise came from the garden. Tom's heart raced. He quickly closed the door and peered out the broken window. Two men were walking near the gate, looking around as if they were searching for something. "Mia, stay behind me," Tom whispered. The men seemed unaware of the villa's secrets, but Tom knew he had to be cautious. The treasure, as incredible as it was, could attract unwanted attention. He realized that they needed a plan to protect it. "Dad, who are they?" Mia asked quietly, worried. "I don't know yet, Mia, but we have to be careful. This villa is our secret, and we will keep it safe," Tom said firmly. As the sun began to set, Tom and Mia prepared to leave the villa. The adventure had grown more exciting and more dangerous. The treasure was not just a discovery now, it was a responsibility. Tom held Mia's hand tightly, knowing that together they could face any challenge. The villa stood silently behind them, full of secrets, treasures, and stories waiting to be uncovered. And for Tom and Mia, the greatest adventure was only beginning. The next day, Tom could not stop thinking about the two men near the villa. Who were they and why were they there? He knew the treasure was valuable and someone might have discovered its existence. He decided to be extra careful. "Mia, today we have to be cautious," Tom said as they walked toward the villa. "We are going to explore more, but we cannot let anyone know what we found." Mia nodded seriously. "I understand, Dad. We will be careful." When they arrived, the villa looked peaceful in the morning light. Birds chirped, and the overgrown garden swayed gently in the breeze. But Tom could not shake off the feeling that someone might be watching. He unlocked the secret room first, making sure everything was just as they had left it. They decided to explore a part of the villa they had not yet entered, the old attic. The staircase creaked as they climbed slowly. Dust floated in the sunlight coming through the small attic window, and cobwebs hung in every corner. The air was thick and musty. "This place is huge," Mia whispered, shining her flashlight around. "I wonder if there is more treasure up here." Tom smiled. "Maybe, Mia. Or maybe there are more secrets waiting to be discovered." As they explored, Mia noticed a small, hidden panel in the wall. She pointed to it. "Look, Dad. That wall looks different." Tom knelt down and pressed gently on the panel. It moved slightly, revealing a tiny hidden compartment. Inside was an old leather-bound book with gold letters on the cover. Tom opened it carefully. The book was a journal written by the family who had owned the villa. It told stories of their travels, their struggles, and hints about other hidden treasures. One passage caught Tom's attention. It spoke of a secret vault buried under the villa, protected by clever puzzles and locks. "This is amazing, Mia," Tom said quietly. The family didn't just hide their treasures in the rooms. They built a vault underground, and they left clues to find it. Mia's eyes sparkled. "A secret vault? That sounds like a real adventure, Dad." "Yes, Mia," Tom replied, feeling excitement and nervousness at the same time. "But we have to be very careful. We don't know what dangers might be waiting for us." They spent hours reading the journal and making notes. Each clue seemed like a puzzle, a challenge that required patience and thought. Tom realized that finding the vault would not be easy, but the reward could be incredible. Suddenly, a loud noise from outside made them freeze. Tom grabbed Mia's hand and peeked through the attic window. The two men from yesterday were back, walking slowly around the villa. They carried backpacks and tools as if they were searching for something. "Mia, we have to hide," Tom whispered, pulling her toward the floor. "They might have noticed something yesterday. We cannot let them see the villa is occupied." They waited silently for a long time. The men walked around the villa, looking carefully at the walls and windows, then finally left. Tom and Mia breathed a sigh of relief. "That was close," Mia whispered. "Do you think they know about the treasure?" "I don't know," Tom replied. "But we have to be smart. We cannot let anyone find out about the vault. It is our secret, Mia." After the men were gone, Tom and Mia returned to the secret room in the attic. They made a plan. They would explore the villa in small steps, follow the clues in the journal, and keep the treasure hidden. Each discovery brought excitement but also responsibility. As the sun began to set, the villa glowed in a soft orange light. Tom looked around at the house, the secret room, and the treasures they had found. He held Mia close. "This villa is more than just a house, Mia," he said. "It is a place of history, adventure, and secrets, and together we will protect it," Mia smiled. "Yes, Dad, I want to solve all the puzzles and find the vault with you." Tom nodded. "And we will, Mia, step by step, adventure by adventure." Little did they know the journey ahead would test their courage, their intelligence, and their bond as father and daughter. The villa held challenges they had never imagined, and the true treasure was still waiting, hidden deep beneath the old walls. The next morning, Tom and Mia returned to the villa with determination. The secret room in the attic had given them clues about a hidden vault under the villa. The journal's puzzles were complex, but Tom believed that with patience and careful thinking, they could solve them. "Today we start finding the vault," Tom said, his voice full of purpose. Mia's eyes sparkled. "I am ready, Dad. Let's solve the first puzzle." They began in the attic, carefully studying the journal. The first clue mentioned an old painting in the living room, and a pattern of symbols hidden around it. Tom remembered the large painting they had seen the first day in the villa, covered with dust and faded colors. "This must be it," he said. "Let's take a closer look." Mia climbed onto a small chair while Tom carefully lifted the painting. Behind it, they discovered a series of carved symbols on the wall. The shapes were unusual, triangles, circles, and stars arranged in a pattern. Tom took notes while Mia pressed gently on each symbol, watching for anything unusual. "Dad, one of them moves," Mia whispered excitedly. Tom carefully pushed the star-shaped symbol. With a quiet click, a small compartment opened in the wall. Inside was a folded paper. Mia carefully unfolded it. "It's another clue," she exclaimed. The paper had a riddle. "Follow the steps where light does not reach. Beneath the stairs, the secret you seek will teach." Tom read the riddle aloud. "Beneath the stairs? That must mean the staircase to the basement or attic. And where light does not reach, maybe it is a hidden step or a trapdoor." Mia's eyes widened. "A secret staircase? This is exciting, Dad." Tom nodded. "Yes, Mia, but we must be careful. Hidden places like this can be tricky. We do not know what to expect." They went to the basement stairs. Dust covered the steps and cobwebs hung from the ceiling. Tom knelt and carefully examined each step. Mia shined her flashlight. Suddenly, Tom noticed one step that was slightly different from the others. It was narrower and had a small carved symbol on it that matched one from the painting. "This must be it," he whispered. Tom pressed gently on the step. It moved, revealing a narrow trapdoor beneath. Mia gasped. "Wow! The vault must be down there, Dad!" Tom carefully opened the trapdoor, revealing a dark, narrow staircase leading underground. A cold breeze came up, carrying the smell of earth and old stone. He held Mia's hand tightly. "Stay close, Mia. We don't know what's down there," he said. Together they slowly descended the steps. The darkness surrounded them, but the excitement in their hearts pushed them forward. At the bottom, they discovered a small stone hallway. The walls were lined with more symbols, and at the end of the hallway was a heavy stone door with a complicated lock. "This must be the vault," Tom said softly. The final challenge, Mia looked at the door in awe. "It looks so old and strong. How will we open it?" Tom examined the symbols carefully. The journal had mentioned that the vault required a combination of symbols, not numbers. He matched the carvings on the door with the patterns from the painting and the hidden compartment. After a few careful attempts, the symbols clicked into place. With a low rumble, the heavy stone door slowly opened, revealing a large room filled with golden light. Inside were chests, jewels, gold coins, and ancient artifacts. Tom and Mia stared in amazement. The treasure was even greater than they had imagined. Mia whispered, "Dad, this is incredible. We really found the vault." Tom smiled, feeling a mix of pride, excitement, and responsibility. "Yes, Mia, but we have to remember this is a secret. We must protect it." They spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the vault. Each chest held treasures from different times and places. Ancient jewelry, golden coins, silver cups, and rolled-up maps lay neatly in rows. The villa had truly been a home of hidden riches, carefully protected by clever puzzles and locks. As the sun began to set above ground, Tom closed the vault door carefully and made sure the lock was secure. Mia smiled, holding his hand. "Dad, this is the best adventure ever," she said. Tom nodded. "Yes, Mia, and it is just the beginning. We have a lot to learn about this treasure, and we must keep it safe for ourselves and the history it represents." Little did they know, the villa's greatest mysteries were still waiting. New challenges, surprises, and even dangers lay ahead, but together Tom and Mia were ready to face them all. The next morning, Tom woke early, his mind full of plans. The vault they had discovered the day before was more than just treasure. It was history, mystery, and responsibility all at once. He knew they needed a way to protect it and keep it safe from anyone who might be watching. "Mia, today we need to make the villa safe," he said as they ate breakfast. Mia's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Like a fortress, Dad? Can we make it strong?" "Yes, Mia. We will lock doors, hide clues, and be careful with every step we take," Tom said, smiling. "Our treasure must stay safe until we understand its true value." After breakfast, they returned to the villa. The garden was quiet, with only birds singing. Tom checked the windows and doors while Mia helped by moving old furniture to block entrances they did not use. They even set up a small system using old ropes and pulleys from the attic, creating a warning system for anyone who might enter without permission. "Dad, this is like a secret mission," Mia said, giggling as she tied the last rope. Tom laughed. "Yes, Mia, and we are the guardians of this villa." Once they had secured the villa, they went back to the secret room and the attic to study the journals and papers they had discovered. Tom wanted to understand the treasure better, where it came from, who had hidden it, and what each item meant. Hours passed as they carefully examined each document. Some were old maps of distant lands, showing places where the family had traveled. Others were letters explaining why the treasures were hidden, written by the villa's original owners. Tom realized that the family had protected their wealth during times of danger, leaving clues for someone trustworthy to find it. "This family must have trusted the right person to solve the puzzles," Tom said softly, "and I think we are lucky they chose this villa." Mia found a small chest of silver coins and held them carefully. "Dad, look at these. They are so shiny." "Yes, Mia, each coin is special and each tells a story," Tom replied. "We cannot sell anything without learning more. This is not just money, it is history." As the afternoon sun began to set, Tom heard a sound outside the villa. He looked through a broken window and saw two men near the gate again. Their backpacks suggested they were exploring or searching for something. "Mia, stay inside. We must hide and be quiet," Tom whispered. Mia nodded, her eyes wide. They waited silently, listening to the men moving around the garden. The men seemed curious but did not notice the villa's windows were open or the ropes they had set up. After a while, the men walked away, leaving Tom and Mia relieved. "This is why we have to be careful," Tom said. "People might want the treasure if they find out about it. We must protect it no matter what." Mia hugged him. "Don't worry, Dad, I will help. We can solve the puzzles and hide the treasure together." Tom smiled, feeling proud. "Yes, Mia, together we can face anything. We are a team." As night fell, the villa looked peaceful. From outside, it seemed like an empty, abandoned house, but inside it was alive with secrets, history, and wonder. Tom and Mia sat together in the living room, looking at the notes and maps. "This treasure is amazing, Dad," Mia said softly, "but it feels even more special because we found it together." Tom nodded. "Exactly, Mia, it is not just about the gold or the jewelry. It is about discovering the story, solving the puzzles, and protecting it. That is the real adventure." They spent the night planning how to continue their exploration and how to keep the villa and the treasure safe. Tom knew that their lives had changed forever. The villa was no longer just an old, abandoned house. It was a home, a puzzle, and a secret world filled with adventure. Little did they know, their greatest discoveries were still ahead. More challenges, more mysteries, and even greater treasures were waiting. But with courage, patience, and teamwork, Tom and Mia were ready to face whatever came next. The next morning, Tom woke with a feeling of excitement and determination. Today, he and Mia would continue their search for more secrets in the villa. The journals and letters had given them clues, and he was certain that the villa held even more hidden treasures. "Mia, are you ready?" Tom asked as he made breakfast. "Yes, Dad. Let's find more puzzles and treasures," Mia said, her eyes sparkling. They packed a small bag with water, flashlights, and gloves. As they approached the villa, the morning sunlight made the tall walls glow, and the overgrown garden seemed magical. The villa no longer looked abandoned or scary. It looked like a place full of mysteries waiting to be solved. Inside, Tom led Mia to the vault. They had already explored most of it, but the journal hinted at one final secret: a chest hidden behind a false wall containing the family's greatest treasures. Tom examined the walls carefully. Mia noticed a section of stone that seemed slightly different from the others. "Dad, look at this," she said, pointing to the stones. Tom knelt down and pressed on one of them. With a soft click, a section of the wall slid open, revealing a small hidden chamber. The room was filled with golden light, and the smell of old wood and earth filled the air. Inside, several chests, larger than any they had seen before, rested neatly against the walls. "This must be it," Tom whispered. "The family's most valuable treasures." Mia gasped in excitement. "Dad, it is amazing. Look at all this gold and jewelry." Tom carefully opened the first chest. Inside were stacks of gold coins, sparkling jewels, and ancient artifacts. Each piece was perfectly preserved, as if waiting for someone to discover it. He realized that this villa had been home to generations of a family who valued their history and carefully protected their wealth. Mia ran to another chest. "Dad, this one has old maps and letters." Tom took them and began reading. The letters explained how the family had traveled to distant lands, collecting treasures and documenting their adventures. The maps showed locations of rare artifacts they had found during their journeys. It was more than money, it was a collection of history, culture, and stories. "This is incredible, Mia," Tom said softly. "These treasures tell a story. They are priceless in more ways than one." Mia looked around the hidden chamber. "Dad, can we keep it safe forever?" Tom smiled. "Yes, Mia. We will protect it just like the family intended. And someday people can learn about the history behind all this treasure." As they explored, Tom realized that the villa itself was also a treasure. The secret rooms, hidden compartments, and clever puzzles made it a place of adventure and learning. It was more than a home. It was a world of discovery waiting to be explored. Suddenly, they heard footsteps outside. Tom quickly peeked through the small hidden window. Two men were walking near the garden, searching. Tom realized they must be looking for the treasure. "Mia, stay quiet," Tom whispered, pulling her behind a large chest. They waited patiently as the men walked past, unaware of the villa's secrets. Once the danger was gone, Tom breathed a sigh of relief. "We must always be careful, Mia. This treasure is too important to be discovered by the wrong people." Mia nodded. "I understand, Dad. We can protect it together." Tom held her hand and smiled. "Yes, Mia. Together we can do anything." As the sun began to set, the villa glowed in a soft golden light. Tom and Mia sat in the hidden chamber, looking at the treasures they had discovered. They knew that the villa and its secrets would change their lives forever. "This is more than just a house or treasure," Tom said. "It is our adventure, our story, and our home." Mia smiled. "And we found it together, Dad. That makes it even more special." Tom nodded, feeling proud and happy. The villa had given them excitement, challenges, and discoveries beyond imagination. They had learned the value of history, courage, and teamwork. And now the villa was truly their home, filled with treasures, secrets, and endless possibilities for the future. As night fell, Tom and Mia looked out of the villa's broken windows at the quiet garden. The stars shone brightly above, and the villa stood strong and mysterious. They knew the adventure would continue, but for now they were safe, happy, and ready to protect the treasures and stories of the villa forever. The villa had once been abandoned and forgotten, but with Tom and Mia it had come alive again, full of mystery, wonder, and dreams waiting to be fulfilled.